Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, where we celebrate individuals and families, businesses, and organizations that seek out and promote the exploration, stewardship, conservation, access, and enjoyment of the outdoors. Earlier this year, UnCruise Adventures invited me to join their small ship, Wilderness Discoverer, for a week-long cruise. We spent 2 full days in Glacier Bay National Park, seeking out the region's glaciers, exploring the shores and fjords of Tongass National Forest and the Tracy Fjord, and searching for wildlife, including bears, whales, mountain goats, sea lions, otters, eagles, and more. This series of short episodes includes interviews with guests and crew who volunteer to share their stories. We hope you enjoy them. We are back with another podcast short from beautiful Glacier Bay National Park here in Alaska. Let me tell you, this is the second full day of the cruise, and believe it or not, everybody said you'd be lucky to see the mountains because it's going to be dark and dreary and gray. And I have to say, it's blue skies all the way, and I am in really appreciation of that. I've gotten to know many of the guests on the cruise, and they are graciously agreeing to join me on my podcast, the Outdoor Adventure Series. And we are sailing here in the park on the Wilderness Discoverer, and we are sailing with UnCruise Adventures. This is a phenomenal small boat cruising here amongst other places throughout on the Pacific, from Canada all the way down to Hawaii and Baja. So right now I have the pleasure of introducing you to Mark and Cindy from Ontario, Canada. Cindy, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm super excited about being on your podcast today.
Fantastic.
Hello to the podcast people. This should be exciting.
All right. So I appreciate you both. And so tell me, what was the compelling reason, do you want to do this an adventure like this? This is not your typical cruise that people would think about. This is not some big boat with thousands upon thousands of people. This is a small, intimate boat. So who was the decider and gee, let's do this?
I was this decider, and it's exactly for the reasons you just described. It's a small boat cruise. It doesn't have thousands of people on it. I always wanted to come to Alaska. This opportunity arose because there was a charity auction online that was through Sick Kids Toronto. As soon as I saw it come up, I knew this was the adventure for us. We were looking for something special for our 30th anniversary, and it certainly fit the bill because it had the hands-on, and it was, again, we were looking, there was the opportunity for bad weather, but it didn't matter for us. We just wanted to come here while we still can. We're not young people. We know that our ability to do some of these hands-on physical outings are, if not infinite. So that's what really pushed us towards this cruise line and this experience.
What do you think about this, Mark? Did Cindy have to twist your arm too much to want to come out here? It's like, did she go, honey, I'm bidding on this?
Yeah, I didn't really know she was bidding on it until she was pretty much done. So it was a bit of a surprise to me, but we're not big ship cruisers. So this kind of fit the bill. It gets us out seeing Mother Nature, and it's best for being able to kayak and go on hikes, and just seemed very appealing.
Very good. Now, I love the fact that you won the cruise via charity, and I love nonprofits that are able to do just that. They raise money, and folks like yourselves get out there and have these phenomenal vacations or holidays. So tell me, this is the second day of our cruise. We kicked off on a Sunday, cold, dreary, rainy. Yesterday we were out. What did you and Mark do, Cindy?
For our first night in, just to circle back just a moment, props to UnCruise for donating to charity. That is a huge donation for them to take that time and out of their inventory to give that to us. So otherwise, we might not have selected this cruise line, although looking back after the fact, the reviews certainly put it first and foremost out there for small cruises coming to Alaska. Our first day here, yeah, we were just trying to grapple with what it was all about. Mark has a history of motion sickness, so a little bit of apprehension getting here and getting on the boat, worrying about what might happen. So far, so good. But yeah, the first night we were just getting used to and getting to know a few people, getting to know a few of the crew members, a bit of the orientation about what to expect on this particular cruise. So yeah, it was really a loose, chill first night out here. And you know what? The weather didn't dissuade us one way or the other. Yeah, we've got the blue skies today, but hey, we'll take any blue sky we can get. But gray skies, raining, we're still going to have a blast out here.
You're in a pristine location. You can't help but have a fantastic day no matter what. Mark, how are you acclimating to all this?
Oh, it's good. Like I started it off slow. They gave us dinner the first night and a little bit of introduction to what the week might look like. And then some training, as Cindy was saying yesterday morning, on how to do the kayaks and what a off-roading hiking would be like. So we chose to do the kayaking yesterday, which was lovely, and we did some more earlier today. So
very nice. Now, what's in store for you guys tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're branching onto land. So not knowing a whole lot about bushwhacking, we're going to give it a go. Why not give it a shot? If we love it, then we've got more opportunities as the week progresses to get back out there and do some more. And if it's not quite for us, that's okay too. We're going to jump in a kayak. The second outing for tomorrow will be the meandering, which super stoked about that. Love looking at the tide pools where there might be some critters to look at, opportunities for some land animals. Yeah, that's what we've got tomorrow. So maybe if we're lucky, you'll get some good weather again.
I love it, and I think you now have a tagline that's worthy of a T-shirt. Why not give it a shot? That's perfect. How are you up for this venture? Who made the selection, by the way, Mark?
Oh, well, Cindy makes a selection. She looks at me, and I'm okay with anything. But yeah, looking forward to the bushwhacking just to see what that's like. So I like to climb things, so we'll see if this fits the bill or not.
Sounds like a plan. Now, how are you enjoying the food here and the hospitality? The staff, I think they're phenomenal, but what's your impressions overall?
Yeah, the staff have been great. The food's been great. They've got the bartender, the cook, the pastry chef, and they all seem to be doing a bang-up job. Even the servers are very polite, very attentive. Like if your glass is even half empty, they're looking to ask you for a refill. So very attentive, very good service.
That's excellent. Now, Cindy, before we leave this interview, if you could share, say, like your aha moment since you have been here. So what I describe as an aha moment is like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just saw, did, heard. What is your aha moment?
Oh, an easy choice for me. That was last evening when we were at Margerie and the boat was lined up impeccably for the cabbing to happen. That was a moment that I thought, I will never forget this. We have traveled many places in the world and seen a lot of amazing things. And in a moment, if it's going to be one that is memorable and stands out, that was it. Without a doubt in my mind. I know 20 years from now, I'll remember that moment and the sounds and the enjoyment of the people at the moment as it was happening. Just that sheer excitement of everybody looking around going, wow, we just saw something exceptional.
That's fantastic. Now, Mark, just to give you an opportunity, we'll leave Sydney's aha moment. You can't really top that. I have to admit that. But what would you want to share with folks who perhaps find this episode, they hear about UnCruise adventures, they think they want to go on a small boat cruise, a very intimate cruise? What would you say to them?
I'd say don't be swayed by what the weather looks like. I mean, it's very doable with the right gear on, and they're very well prepared. They do provide you with a lot of stuff that if you didn't bring it with you, you could get from them. But yeah, Margerie and the ice coming off the shelf and falling into the water, that was definitely, even the ride up to it, because the boat had to go through like a glacier minefield basically to get there, and the places you're bouncing off the boat. We saw a hawk sitting on an ice formation, just floating along. Like you just don't see that every day. So
that was wonderful. Well, listen, Mark, Cindy, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat here and contribute to the Outdoor Adventure Series, contribute to these shorts where we, kind of get some perspective from the guests here on this wonderful cruise with UnCruise Adventures. We are on the Wilderness Discoverer, and personally, I'd say I've been breaking bread with you for a couple of meals now. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, and again, thank you for contributing to this episode.
That's terrific. Thanks so much. It has been our pleasure as well, Howard, to get to know you better amongst all the other guests on the ship as well. So yeah, anybody's thinking about doing a small cruise, don't think too hard. Just get on the boat and go.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you both. And listen, I haven't heard any major cheers since we started chatting. I know our last interview, all of a sudden we should have probably broke because there was a pod of whales breaching. I don't know if it's called a pod or not, but a lot of whales breaching, and it was just like a wonderful experience. So, all right, folks, we're going to be taking a quick break, and we're going to come back hopefully with another interview with either a crew member here on the Wilderness Discoverer or with another guest. And this is the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast, and we will see you on a future podcast short. Thank you. To learn more about UnCruise Adventures, visit their website at uncruise.com. You can also learn more on their social sites, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. If you enjoy podcasts devoted to outdoor adventure, find us online at outdooradventureseries.com. And remember, we welcome likes, comments, and sharing. You can also find us on our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube pages by searching for Outdoor Adventure Series. And you can also find us on all of the leading podcast platforms. All the links that we mentioned just now can be found in our show notes for this episode. Take care, and until next time, we look forward to having you join us for a new episode of the Outdoor Adventure Series podcast.